Hi, I'm Jose Cabrera.
I'm Savannah Sunheim.
I'm Sophia Rogers.
And I'm Tim Kessler.
And you're watching 5 Questions. Today we got the chance to talk to New York Congressman Eliot Engel.
He sat down with some students and they were able to ask him a number of questions.
We picked our top 5 answers.
So sit back and enjoy
5 Questions. Question number 1. What is the main job of a congressperson?
Well, Congress's main job is really to, pass the laws governing the country. But like anything else, it spills over. You do community events. I mean, I'm here. I go to different meetings, go to churches, go to different places just to meet people in the district. If the various groups in the district have an annual dinner dance or whatever, I go. I try to be as many places as I can be, and at the same time passing laws. So it's sort of a multifaceted thing.
Question number 2. How can teens get more involved in politics?
Well, when I was your age, there used to be a lot of political clubs, which kind of has fallen by the wayside. A lot of politics is done around individual candidacies. But in Westchester, there's a Young Dems, if you're a Democrat. There's a Young Dems of Westchester. I'm sure there's a Republican counterpart to that. I think that's the way. And the other way would be find a candidate you like, when there are different elections, and start working for that candidate. So you could get involved with either individual candidacies or with the party of your choice. And that's the way to do it.
Question number 3. What are the most common issues that compel a constituent to contact a member of Congress?
I basically say no issue is too big or too small. And I tell people if they have a personal problem or a community concern, come in and tell us about it. So sometimes people have felt that they needed a traffic light somewhere, or people feel that there's too much noise, something's going on, and they don't understand it. Also with senior citizens, sometimes they're having some trouble with Social Security, or with Medicare or Medicaid. They're not paying their doctor, or there's something that a phone call needs to be made. So the people will come with us with personal problems or community problems. And I have most of my staff in New York, not in Washington, because I really think that a very important role of an elected official is to have staff to help constituents navigate whatever it is. Most of the time, if people picked up the phone and did it themselves, or went online and did it themselves, they could do almost the same thing, but people feel better if a member of Congress or an elected official does it for them. So I've always believed that while it's important for me to have staff in Washington dealing with the issues of the day, it's more important for me to have staff in New York dealing with people's needs. And if you've helped somebody, even if they don't agree with every vote you've taken, they'll know you are there to help them if they're in need, and they appreciate it. So I love doing that.
Question number 4. What is the most unique problem you have had to deal with as a congressperson?
I don't know if I'd say unique. I'd say difficult. We had a deal, which was an international deal on Iran, trying to curb Iran from having a nuclear weapon. President Obama, whom I support very much, negotiated that deal, and I didn't like it. And so I had to go tell the president, who I support, who I'm friendly with, that I wasn't going to vote for his bill. And I got a call. I was trying to figure out how to do that. I got a call. The president would like to talk to you. He'd like you to come into the White House, and he'd like to talk to you. So I went to the White House in the Oval Office, which is in the West Wing, and I went in there, and somebody led me in. There's a door. I opened the door, and there's the President of the United States standing there alone. No staff, no aides. I had nobody, just one-on-one. Sit down. We sat down. We talked about it, and the photographer came in, snapped a few quick pictures, and then left. And I'm there with the President of the United States for 40 minutes in the Oval Office alone. And the first thing he says to me is, well, we've negotiated this deal. I hope you stand with me on this deal. And I had to tell him that, no, I wasn't going to vote for the deal.
How hard was that?
So that was a hard thing to do. And it was more, anticipation of it. He was very nice. He didn't yell. I was happy when it was over, though. But so that was a difficult one.
Question number 5. What is something Congress is doing to help make college attainable for all students?
If you look at what colleges are charging, say in the past dozen years, 10, 12 years, the rates for tuition have gone up much higher than the rates of inflation, much higher. And it really makes it bad because kids cannot afford to go, and if they do go and they borrow, they graduate with this debt that really stays with them the rest of their lives. Of course, that was one of President Obama's proposals, to do community college and to make it free for 2 years, to have the government do it. I told the president that I'm a perfect example of someone who grew up in a city housing project. We didn't have much money, my family, and they couldn't really afford to send me to college. I could have gone and taken a loan, which was a lot less in those days, which we thought was a lot more, but it was a lot less. But I had the option of going to a city university, which was free. And you all won't have that option unless you win some scholarships. I'm sure some of you will win scholarships, but it's very difficult. So I would say we've got to work on that. But for individual choices, I think that you are better off going to state schools, certainly New York, certainly SUNY, and even some of the other states, some of the state schools in other states will give you some kind of a partial scholarship if your grades are good and you can show certain things. And the bottom line is this: I don't really think it matters unless you're going to graduate from one of the top Ivy League schools like Yale or Harvard or Princeton or schools like that. It doesn't really matter where your BA is from, but just get the BA, get it, because it's hard for you to get your foot in the door. There are certain people, you apply for jobs, if you don't have a BA, they don't want to know you. They won't even interview you. Now, is that fair? No. Is it stupid? Probably. But it's a fact of life, and you have to adjust to the reality. So all of you can there's a college that'll take all of you. Believe me, if you're here listening to me at this hour, and Thanksgiving is soon, you're here listening, and I don't know if someone forced you to do this, but I'm assuming they didn't force you, but if they did, good, I'm glad they did. And if they didn't force you, then you're here. You can find a good college to get into. You really can. And if any of you are down in Washington, D.C., or for any chance, and you want to do intern in my office, and would like to do that, you let me know, and we'll try to make it happen for you.
We'd like to thank the Congressman for visiting our school today.
And we want to encourage you to learn more about your representatives.
And if you reach out, he or she might come to your school too.
So thank you for tuning in to 5 questions.
Oh, 5 questions!
5 questions. I was like, wait, why aren't you guys saying anything?